Makadimo semure Zimbabwe kusangana zvekare pano pachivhitivhiti chenyu patinokupai nyaya nema-latest updates anakachitika munyika yeZimbabwe. Mamiriro azvakaita zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka, asi tasarudza kuti tiuye tichikuonesai nyaya dziri kuitika munyika yeZimbabwe kuti mugova nechokwadi nezvinhu zviri kuitika. Right, pane chimwe chokwadi chiri kuburitswa panapa kuti pane vamwe vanhu vari kureceiva mahandouts from Mnangagwa and his parallel cabinet. Avo vanova vari loyal kuna komanda wavo akamira navo panguva yekuti zvinhu zvanhu zvakaoma, anova ari Chiwenga. Naizvozvo toda kukuudzai zvekare kuti zvigananda zvese zvakatochengetwa. Kuchengetwa kuri kuitwa zvigananda nearmy, musavhunduke nenyaya iyoyo. Musafungidzira kuti army yakatotengwa nemari. Army haina kubvira yatengwa nemari, asi nyaya iripo ndeyekuti army iri loyal kuna Chiwenga. Ende toda kuti tikuonese kuti mabodyguards ari munyika yeZimbabwe akawanda acho pamwe chete nemaCIO vakatrainwa through Chiwenga, vane background yekuva masoja, vazhinji vari kuchengeta zvigananda. Saka information zhinji iri sensitive iriko yakatochengetwa, yakakepchwa, zvese zviripo, zviri pajekerere. Naizvozvo nyada kuti tikuonese ndeye kudai so. Bonyongwe munhu wekuti ndiye ane vanhu vakawanda vamwe vari kuCIO vari kuchengeta zvigananda pari zvino, ndo mabodyguard ezvigananda pari zvino. Saka musavhunduke, Bonyongwe akashanda ari under leadership yaChiwenga. That's why muchiona kuti Bonyongwe paakalonja bhuku raakalonja I think last year 2024 takaona ana Chiwenga pamwe chete nemamwe ma-army generals nema-retired vakawanda chiri chikundi vakaenda kunookera bhuku iroro, vakanoongorora nezvaro, vakataura mashoko akanaka pamusoro pevamwe vavo. Naizvozvo muri Zimbabwe ndoo zviri kutaurwa kunzi vese vanhu ava vane background yekuti vaiva mu-military intelligence pamwe chete nemaCIO, and CIO yacho yakabuildwa nani? Yakabuildwa naBonyongwe. Naizvozvo iye Bonyongwe wacho anga ari musoja zvigare, so aikanga ari musoja achilidwa naChiwenga. Saka zvinhu zvina kumira zvakanaka muri Zimbabwe. Musavhundutsirwa, musavhunduka, musatye parallel cabinet. Chiro zvakanzi chii chiri kuitika muParliament, chiro akanzi vari kuriga, vari kunyepa kuti vanhu 2000 kunge zvavakamboita pama-election aya a2023 nea2018. Musavhunduke because nyaya iyi opposition iri muZANU-PF imomo, noti kwatiri isusu. Mune vamwe vari kutozviramba. Saka nyaya constitution nyaya chakonzeresa hondo. Naizvozvo ndaiti ndikuonese nyaya iyi kuti mugoziva chokwadi. Musanyanya kuvhunduka zvenyu, hondo inogona kungoitika anytime. Musanyanya kuvhunduka, zvigananda zvinopabatwa apa, zvinopamhanya. Ndokutendai chose nekuteerera kwenyu kukuru kwamunoita pano pachivhitivhiti patinokupai nyaya nema-latest updates.
Checking Mike inotoshanda chaiyo.
Yeah. No, but me, this is what he told me yesterday. What I'm telling you.
Okay. Outside of the issue of the space at our way, Saka, he could only find a space on the Zambia side.
I don't know. We are just dropping stuff here. We're just dropping some. But I think for me, the reality, it will be the most confusing thing. Trust me, knowing the guy personally.
Mob titans. If you got opportunity to go and play the audio of the... No, let me just wrap up. Give me 10 seconds. Mob titans, go to the prayer for yesterday and play the recording. You're going to hear what he said.
All right. I'll do that. Let's go to Anonzanu MP. Somebody, Anonzan Morgan. Is it?
Yes, thank you, Uncle Gerard and commentators. About issue ga Honorable Molokeli, I think there was a build-up that is not being shown. Kuma clips lawa that are being distributed. If you were watching that, you will discover Uguti, the ZANU-PF MPs that were not in parliament, when they came in, they are the ones who started to invade side opposition. That is why you hear one of the members of the opposition asking speaker Uguti, asiva wandisa vakawanisa zvakadaro here kuti avachakwani kwavo. You see, and then there was a debate around that. Why are they not sitting on their side? But the speaker today was very hostile because he wasn't taking any point of privileges or any point of orders from the opposition, let me say. You see, and then knowing how radical Molokeli is, he has been trying to talk. He has been trying to raise a point of order from his own side. So he took that opportunity when the ZANU-PF MPs now started to sit kuside Rechi, because I remember there is one MP who even stated that tinogara ne-order yekuti ZANU-PF this side and opposition this side. What is happening now? You see, and if you go ahead listening to that, you hear there's another opposition MP who is saying, we are now not feeling comfortable. Never You see, and then Molokeli then took his bag and after he asked actually Molokeli, can I also, as well as opposition, am I allowed to go and sit ZANU-PF side? And then the speakers acknowledged. That's when he picked up his bag. It's not about space. It's not about crossing floor. That is why even during the presentation of that chairperson way committee, there is an honorable member of opposition after Parliament Hengley posted Kuti Molokeli has crossed the floor. He raised up a point of order to say, can you please correct what has been said by the Hengley, the Twitter Hengley of this ex-Hengley of Parliament, saying that Triple C MP Molokeli has crossed. And then again, the speaker crashed that point of order to say you should be listening to what that Ziambi is saying rather than being on social media, because social media will post whatever it wants to post. But Molokeli went there just because the ZANU-PF people had also come to sit with what at the side of the opposition. That is what happened. There is no crossing of floor. There was about voting. If you remember, Honorable Kumete even asked to say, how are we going to vote? Umtenda dismissed that, saying we haven't touched that. Asiga fig. So to say he went there to vote or is crossing, yet the speaker had said we haven't gotten to the voting part is actually out of order. I think he misjudged the act as well, and these are the repercussions that we are getting as opposition. But it had nothing to do with voting or crossing. We all know what he has been advocating for ever since.
But my brother is okay. Can I? We know how. We know. Wait. We know how ZANU-PF operates, right? I'm understanding what you're saying, and it is making sense, to me, right? I hope tomorrow is not going to be sitting there, because we've been told that in the voting we are going to be having people sitting on one side and others, sitting on one side, right? If today had been, the voting, day, him sitting there, was he not going to be counted as a person, who's agreeing, with the whole thing?
Maybe, but remember, Honorable Kumete asked, how are we voting?
And but now, knowing that, they were trying to be, they were dithering, in terms of, that. But I'm saying, because now we are talking about this because of the optics. And we're talking about this because of the narrative that has been created by that move, that is made. Had it been a situation whereby the voting was going to say, voting in Ngakatoitika, Tarsemone ku ZANU-PF side who are in support of this, there was an overwhelming number of people, and him being there. I don't count Wagasemuna Angari Koko. So, but was it a wise decision for him to protest whatever it is by him uprooting himself to go and sit amongst the ZANU-PF people?
It was reckless of him, Uncle, but now let's look at it this way. It was only Honorable Molokeli who went from the Triple C. Why are they not showing us the number of ZANU-PF MPs who came to the opposition side? How many were there? There were many. That is why this whole thing triggered. again, I'm saying it was reckless of him. He fell for the trick that they came, the carrot that they dangled at him, because they know what he's one of the cocky ones in the
Yes.
in the years. So he fell for it. It was reckless of him. But why are they not showing us the number of
The other side.
ZANU-PF MPs
Yes.
who came to sit with the opposition?
No,
It wasn't just
No,
yes,
but
no, I
one.
understand,
It
the
was
counter.
something is not making sense for me
I understand,
here.
the counter.
Something is not making sense because we've had two accounts here. But the Lomio has said, Kuti, Mamolo Kele preempted prior that he might make that move. So if then we're saying he made that move because on the day the ZANU-PF were going to sit, how would he have known the day before that he would make that move?
Yeah, I can also come and say that ZANU-PF Lokuzena was with him yesterday. He also told me he was going to make that move. Where is the evidence?
But
we don't have that.
No, the
Yeah.
evidence is there because
Sorry,
the
Agujit,
prayers
I
are
want to show you-
recorded.
Right.
I want to show you something very important what the ZANU-PF is trying to do.
Go on.
So normally in voting, left is left, opposition, incumbent is right.
Mm-hmm.
And the parliament votes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's something called crossing the floor, yes?
Mm-hmm.
When the vote that is meant for the left ends up voting for the right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, if something is advertised and it is visual in parliament, what you're going to get is the pressure, let's say for the left, that is opposition, to cross the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's going to be very hard because where they are, it's going to be no, 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 no. So it's very hard for a person to say yes. You need a brave person.
Right.
Unless you mix it up. You mix it up. Yeah. You take the right, you put them on the left, and then automatically the left turns and then goes to the right. And then now, for the visuals and for the confidence, even the left can say yes, and the right says no, even sitting on the right, and then the other ones. It's confusing. Unless you know the MPs themselves and you're able to take track of the whole 400 MPs.
Right.
But if you're unable to take track of the whole 400 MPs, you're going to just hear yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And at the end, it dilutes everything else. And then it helps the no's that are wanting to say yes to come through underneath. And then the collectiveness, when everything is collected, this is when now you're going to see the damage afterwards.
Yeah,
and that's what ZANU-PF is doing.
Yeah. And even that picture, that video, it can still be used. Post everything to say, look him, he even decided to cross the floor.
No optics guys zango.
Do optics that and then move on. Saka, I mean, I'm going maybe there was a bit of a thing, on his side. I don't think it was a gesture that needed, to be done. Yes, even though I understand that, but we do not have that. What we are having now, and this is how ZANU-PF operates, and this is how this regime operates. What we are having now is him making that flow, and they even accompanied that with Mudenda saying, "Good, Cab 3 is uniting."
They always use uniting.
And
people. They always use
yes, what picture does that create? Is the same as the numbers that we're talking about here. To say good, they are putting out these numbers and say good, so many people, right, were in favor against this. And now I was trying to drill down and debunk that and say good, that number is not representative, because for a number to be representative, at least we need to make sure good, there's random whatever participation in terms of the people that are being picked for them good right, but that was not there because the evidence is there. Yet I want to assume that 3 fingers for them to be chosen. There is bias, there is selective selection of people, and that selectiveness of people was on the basis of those who were selecting, knowing for you to select a person, that person has to bring certain characteristics, such as them showing 3 fingers to say good I am a ZANU-PF person. organization have been caused and have been prepared to give a submission. So all those things, and when you are looking at all those things, they speak to a process that is designed to bring a predetermined outcome. And that then brings criticism to the design that has been used. So all these things that we are seeing right now, they are developing in a way, Kuti, a narrative is being created on one side. But how then do we counter that narrative, those who are on the other side?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, Uncle, the reason why I was actually, I know it's very difficult to be lawyer in politics, how people can change. But the reason why I said it doesn't make sense for someone like Daniel Molokele to actually, cross sides and, be pro 2030. Daniel Molokele, I besides speaking to him on a personal basis, he is always tweeting my posts of anyone who is anti 2030. Even if you go to on his profile right now, if you look at anything, I think I know to some algorithms. Anyone who is just against 2030, he's trying to amplify that voice. So it just doesn't make sense then to say, Munu is not even asked. Munu is his personal conviction. That is what he believes. He doesn't say 2030 is anything good for Zimbabweans, and he's always stood by that. So it just the actions or whatever, it wouldn't even make sense at all. But if you were to go to his profile, just go to his profile now, you see in the last hour, whatever, too, he's an anti 2030 guy so much. So I think that there's definitely an explanation behind that, which of course ZANU-PF can always use as what they do. But anyway, let's move on to people that haven't spoken so that we can give everyone a chance. So, like Cooksman, research, Vakomichi, Morgan Komichi, we see you, Kuzi Wells, and Ndaraji, Beauty. Okay, can I start with Beauty, then I go to Cooksman?